We just arrived yesterday in beautiful Bali in Indonesia, and it was a very long day of traveling from Seattle, so this is a workout that I am going to do post-plane to try to open up some of the stiff places and also just get a good first day workout in, getting the blood moving. So about an intermediate workout, you're welcome to join me. So starting with a warm-up with some half roll-up, half roll-downs. Lifting the back really tall. Let's move this down a little bit. And slowly pulling the stomach in to roll back. Stomach deeper as we come back up. Trying to really open up the low spine. Press the hips under. Belly in as we lift. And again. Maybe exhaling as we come up. Inhaling at the top. Reaching, opening the chest, pulling the stomach back, shoulders down as we articulate, and exhale, back's feeling pretty stiff. Ugh. Really trying to get my low back to round. Stretching and breathing. Maybe one more like this. And stretch. Pulling really into my low back as much as I can, pulling my hips under me, keeping the knees soft to help with that. And then I'm going to come onto my side. Both hands under the head, maybe a fetal position with the knees about a 90-degree angle, and just open the chest, letting the head stay back, opening, breathing. Open. I'm really thinking about pulling this hip, anchoring it. One more. And then a straight arm, reaching, opening the chest, bent elbow if you don't have a lot of space. Really opening up the upper back, shoulder blade, chest area here. Can get really stiff. You're going to confine space for a long time. Over the head, small semicircle, reaching back. One more. And then I'll go to the other side. If I can get my head to the floor, do it. But also keep my head up a little more to make it less intense. Straight arm for 4 maybe. Over the head. I'm going to do a little bit of child's pose, cat-cow, just to round my back in a different direction. For me, because my low back is stiff, I'm really going to focus on here and not doing too much in my upper back. Pulling my stomach in and then letting my shoulders drop, lifting the chest. And again, really pinching my buns, tucking my tail. Opening my chest, and then wide knees, a stretch forward, maybe moving the hands to one edge of the mat, pushing into that opposite hip, and then the other direction. wrist stretch, not too much, just pressing the wrists down into the mat, putting a little pressure, relaxing the shoulders, and then the other direction, keeping the elbows soft here, not trying to lock everything. Good. All right. Now we're going to do our intermediate mat with a little extra peppered in here and there. So coming onto the back, knees into the chest, big hug, maybe rocking a little if you still need a little movement in your low spine, a little TLC there. Pressing the legs long, arms long, pressing them into the mat first to really pull the stomach in and open the chest. And then we'll pump. Inhale, exhale. 50, maybe lowering. Maybe beating for our last few. Last one. And a full roll up. Pulling my waist back as I stretch forward, not just pulling forward over my hamstrings. Big stretch back here. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Maybe a little extra stretch here. Pull, 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 slow. And then roll over. Being pretty gentle with the neck here because it's a little stiff. Maybe like start a little higher. Pointing and flexing. Opening wide today. A little extra space for the spine. Removing the feet and the ankles. Going a little lower if you can. Reverse. And some leg circles, so I'm going to do really big ones. My arms are maybe a little wider. We could have a straight leg. I'm going to have a little bit of a bent knee, and we could be turned out or parallel. And I'm going to circle all the way over and find a stretch on this side. Reach, that hip's going to come up, unlike how we normally do it. And again, pushing the opposite shoulder down as I go around. Big circle to move my hips. Oh, it feels good. Reach, flip that hip. One more. And we reverse. Big open across. Two. And last one. Big stretch here. Not so big today, but as much as I can, anchoring the hip. Going across a little bit. Maybe even with the bent knee if you need a little extra space. Moving the ankle a little here. And then opening, keeping that opposite hip. Pulling and flexing a few times. And reaching. Good. Making sure I'm in the center and across. Reversing. Big open, sweeping up. Using the stomach. use a bathrobe strap here to help with the stretching, TheraBand that you brought with you, belt in a loop, whatever you need. And flexing a little here, moving through the arch, metatarsal, toes, ankle, Achilles, and reaching long, stretching everything. So I'm rolling like a bolt. So just a note, I have 2 yoga mats here and a towel, and this is a wood floor underneath. I'm not going to do a ton of rolling because it's still pretty hard compared to a fluffier mat that I'm used to, especially because I don't have a shirt on even. Look into the belly. We're going to pull the stomach in and roll back. First few a little smaller, more controlled. Feels a little hard on the back, a little bruisey, so I'm not going to do too many. Good. And then I am going to do stomach series. So finding my way down. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Maybe bicycling a little here, reaching the leg away, reach. Reversing it. Oh, that breeze feels good. Double leg stretch, inhale, exhale, inhale. Single straight leg, reaching that bottom leg really long, stretching through the front of the thigh. Reaching through the toes, and both legs up, lower both legs, and lift it. Squeeze the heels. Crisscross. Stretch. Arms up, and we're going to roll up. Final stretch. Spine stretch forward. So, 2 variations. Hands flat, one next to each other on the mat. Dropping the head, and I'm going to push and scrape my hands as I round to try to pull my tail under me more and lift. Deep low stomach lifting. One more. I use my toes to help me get a little more roundness. And last one. Open leg rocker, I'm just going to balance because I don't want to bruise my back too much. So, one leg. Chest is up, head is back. Keep that leg, open them both. Opening wide, pulling together. And then maybe a little roll down. So, walking down, pulling my tail under me. And then coming right back up. Tall back. And again. Pulling the waist back, reaching the heels, squeezing the legs, and coming back up. Maybe one more like that. Lift really tall. Reaching to the toes, and we're coming down for the corkscrew. We're going to tick-tock first, actually, over. Twisting. Arms could be in a T here. You want to make sure the opposite shoulder is anchored as you reach the legs across the body. Finding the middle and the leg, outside leg to pull you back up. One more set. A little further maybe. And then some corkscrew. Sweeping, maybe a little more, move through the hips. Even if things kind of move around a little bit. Knees in. Take a moment here, open the hips. Pull the knees to the shoulders and push the tail down. Rock maybe a little. So also opportunity to Stretch one leg, opening from the groin, and the other. Coming up for the saw. Wide arms, we're twisting and stretching. Bent knees here could be a good way to give you a little extra inch if you're feeling very stiff. Rounding, grabbing something and pulling. Breathing. Back arm to the ceiling. One more. Little hips are anchored. On the belly, we're going to start with the neck roll. I'm going to bring it pretty high today. Good. Lifting the waist, looking to the right. Taking my time here. Neck and shoulders are feeling pretty stiff. One more set. Lift the ribs, and we're coming down. Push back onto the heels, find another round. I'm going to focus on tucking my tail and rounding my low spine here, pulling my belly into my low back, dropping my head a little bit, not letting my back go flat like child's pose, trying to get this rounded under as much as I can. Single leg kick, double leg kick. Squeezing my fists and lifting my ribs away from the mat. Looking straight. Really working on stretching the front of the hip and the quadricep, pushing my fists together and down to stretch my chest area a little. One more set. Left face cheek down for our double leg kick, 3 kicks. Pinch, pinch, pinch the glutes, and lift. Lift a little taller. Push back and round. Since I'm up here, I'm going to do some thigh stretch, chest expansion. Just move a few more things. Arms are straight up, pushing the hips forward a little, lifting the ribs in the belly, shoulders in the body. We're going to go straight back and lift as we push. Exhale, lift the hips, lift the belly. And again, my knees are open wide here because my hips are feeling a little stiff. You could squeeze the legs together. If you're not, one more. Right into chest expansion. Open the chest, lift the belly, look right, left. Exhale. Neck pull, back to our intermediate order. I'm going to start with knees a little bent, feet flexed, and sitting up because low back needs a little extra attention here. Hinging, elbows in or even hands behind my thighs to help me pull down, down, down and back. Coming back up. Find the middle as we stretch. Lift and round. Coming up. One more. Stretch it all out. We're going to do some side kicks. Back lines up at the back edge of your mat. Make sure everything's in alignment. Legs come forward. We're going to start with single kicks. Really reaching back to open the hip. One more, 2 kicks now. One more. Stretch, reach. Legs come together. We're going to kick up and reach. Softening maybe at the top to get the back of the leg to work. Last one. Circles. 5. Reverse it. Both legs lift. Bring them forward. Find your belly pulling back as you reach your legs forward. And down and again. Find that lift. Pull your hips back. Try to make kind of almost a 90-degree angle here. Not sticking your butt all the way up. Pulling your stomach back. One more lift. And bring it back to the middle of the mat. Bicycle. We're going to kick. I'm going to use my arm to help my stretch. Pulling the hip back. Squeezing. Pushing into the foot. Arm comes forward as I reach. Kick front. Grab it. Pull it. Stretch it. And reach. One more. Stretch. Reversing it. Reach. Pull. And could go behind here. And reach. One more. You always do a split there as your transition, and then we're going to lift both legs, brush. Small little brushes, and then big ones. Split the legs, reach them apart, keep the bottom leg off the mat. One more set. Reach, heels together, belly. Let's do some beats for 10. Another 10. Other side. Stay facing you. Top leg lifts to the height of the hip. Single first. Two more. Single. And then double now. One more. Stretch, reach. Top leg kicks up. Reach. Pulling this back. Pulling the stomach away from the hand. Two more. Circle small. Reverse it. Both legs lift up. And we're going to bring them forward. Find your middle. Pull the belly back. We're a little out of order. Again. One more lift. Pull in deeper. Bring them back to the middle. And let's do our bicycle. Kick to the front. Grab it. Pull it into your chest. Pull it back. Big stretch. Reversing. Maybe a split there for you. And we're going to come up and we're going to do small little brushes. And then big ones, big splits. Last one. Legs together and down. All right. Some teaser. Start from seated position. Really thinking about lifting the back and finding the ribs in the belly and lift the feet up and just find your balance. Maybe bent knees because you're stiff. A little straighter. Arms are up, lift, and we're gonna roll down. Halfway, come back up. Always could use your arms, coming down with your belly. Coming back up, lift. And then let's go all the way down. Stretch. Coming all the way up. Arms to the ceiling, reach. And all the way back up. Twist. Big stretch here. Lift the back, drop the shoulders, lift the chest. And we're gonna actually go right into boomerang here. So crossing one leg over the other, reaching really tall still with the legs. Arms are gonna come back and find a little stretch. And you're gonna pull your stomach in as you round. Grab your ankles or your feet and stretch, head to the knees. Pull the stomach in, we're gonna go back, lift the legs. Recross them. Find your teaser balance. Hands could be here too. Find a stretch there, arms up, we're coming back. Lift the waist and round. 2 more. Lift the legs as you pull your stomach in to come back. Lift and round. Last one. Lift. Getting some shaving. Reach. Big stretch. Awesome. Then normally we would do the seal. I'm not going to do it because it's a little too hard for my back. Instead, I'm just going to balance. Find my middle. Pull your stomach in. I'm going to clap, clap, clap. Pull the belly in. You can roll. Clap, clap, clap. Pull the stomach in. Lift. One more. Round. And then we'll come up to standing for some push-ups. You might not see my face. Arms are up. Lifting the back, squeeze the heels together, coming down, find a little stretch down here, soften the knees, walking out, 1, 2, 3, 4, find your plank, pull your shoulders together, look up a little, just shifting first set, pushing through the feet, last one, right here, right leg up, we're going to bring it through, grab it, pull it all the way through, if your hips are too tight, thinking about pulling this top hip back, pushing the back hip, the left one in this case, forward. So a little opposition between the hips and the pelvis. The knee goes down. We're going to keep thinking about letting the hips go forward. Just let gravity do the work. Breathing. Hands coming onto the knees maybe as we come back a little. Stacking our hips, lifting the back. I'm really pushing with the back hip as opposing to letting the back arch. So keeping everything stacked. Most of the stretches in the back hip. Hands down, maybe back into our lunge. Go a little lower if you can. Push into that back heel. Back to our push-up position. 3 sets of push-ups or planking, whatever works. Other leg comes forward. Again, this hip's going forward, the back hip's going that way. Thinking about pulling with this bottom leg and pushing with the top leg a little. Bottom knee goes, toes go. Letting gravity do the work. Hands come up. Some deep breathing here as we think about anchoring and pushing with that back hip. Keeping our belly in, lifting our chest and our stomach away from our thigh. You can see here why that's so important. Otherwise everything just goes. Hands come back down, back toes. Push our heel back. 1 deeper stretch and lunge. 3 more push-ups. It can be small. Piking. Finding a little downward dog here. Hip width for me. You could have our feet parallel. Find your shoulders in your back and push your heels down. Keep lifting the ribs and the belly. Maybe bicycling the feet. It's a really nice calf stretch. Letting the neck go and feeling the upper back, the shoulder blade area, all here doing the work as opposed to the front of the shoulders. Good. Hands come back to the feet. Drop the head and stretch. My favorite IT band stretch, where you can also do this up against a wall. We're going to take, in this case, the right leg is going to cross over a little bit in front. Bend this front leg, straighten the back leg, walk the hands towards and past the top leg. That back hip's going to push back into the wall. Pushing into that back heel. And we're going to switch. Top leg's in front. Bent knee. Push the back hip back as you stretch. Coming back to the center, heels together, toes apart, dropping the head and slowly rolling up. I'm going to change the angle here a little. So some side sit-ups a little, hands behind the head, lift the back, legs are wider than hip width. We're going to stretch over, lift up, bend the waist, and lift. Head is back, hands and head are pushing together. 2 more. Arms to the ceiling, this is a big stretch. Over, push into the left hip a little without moving the hips too much, and lift, stretch. Inhale, exhale. Last set. Back up, arms push back. You're going to grab behind, hook your fingers together, clasp them again, parallel legs, soft knees. Drop the head and round. Arms can go up as we round down. Bent knees as we stretch the shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades together. No locked elbows here. Let the neck shake, yes and no. Slowly rounding up, bending the knees, tucking the tail. Keep the hands clasped. Hold the arms back and lift the chest. A little upper back bend. No crunching of the neck. Keep the chest open. And back to center. Heels together. Toe back. And you are done. Hope that helps with your jet lag.